So we have spawning over on the right hand side FS Syllian as the blue Terran.
And over on the left hand side of the map we have our red Protoss Hyrlis.
Woo!
Now I've got to admit to you, PvT is my favourite matchup to watch.
Oh really?
As a spectator. Oh, it sure is.
Why is that?
I love all phases of engagement. I like seeing both Terrans and Protoss doing early pressure in this matchup, and I like to see it when it evolves to a macro game and you get some intense Templar and Colossus mixes in, and some tech switches going, and the Terran starts to get a large number of ghosts up. It's quite dynamic and makes for an interesting game.
Most definitely. I mean, as fun as Zerg is, I will admit, a lot of the time it comes down to the need of one key unit to turn the tide to win. Like a mothership, what's it called? Vortex, if you want to kill Broodlords. But in PvT, you've got that, I guess, dynamic of micro actually required to win. So it is generally a rather entertaining matchup to watch.
Bit of a SCV vs probe jet. They'll be looking to build up those shields again so we can take on the SCV again.
I mean, to kill an SCV this early in the game... Oh! Double barracks going right down from Syllian. Doesn't even care about the probes. Like, yeah, you can see
two racks, and it's right in Hyrlis' face.
Hyrlis like, I don't think so.
And that SCV's in trouble.
Trying to migrate that SCV, a bit of ringing around the rosy. He's going for the kill! He gets it! Oh! Even trade though.
First blood goes to the Terran, and the Protoss the Protoss getting first blood.
And Terran
following up very quick. So we do have Syllian continuing with this 2 racks. It's not choosing to cancel it now that it got scouted.
No,
over in the Protoss base we've got standards. Yeah. Looking pretty standard in the Protoss base. We've got our gate and our core and our 1 gas. And they're making their workers.
Definitely, I think... Oh, we have a bunker in production now from Syllian.
And a chrono boosted stalker, so he could be looking out to chrono out maybe two more stalkers, or 1 more stalker after this one, so we're going to have 2 stalkers, 1 zealot to do some nice pressure. Could catch a Terran off guard if he doesn't choose to get a bunker, if his bunker's low.
Definitely.
And a fast tech lab on this second barracks, so we could be looking at some sort of marauder.
Oh!
Marine.
Could we be seeing an early ghost play? Syllian is known for that.
An early ghost. I have heard Ducky rant numerous times about Syllian's ghost grid.
Duckies,
as
Syllian, and
loses his...
Those two verse each other more than, I guess, God and whoever the devil is. I guess Satan. Well, let's go with Satan. Those two have been versing longer than anybody that I've ever heard of. So I would be delighted to see some sort of early ghost play here from Syllian.
We do know that he's quite strong at it, and there's two stalkers coming into pressure. One of them losing a lot of its health to Marine Bunker Marauder, sorry.
The bunker has pretty much become a unit.
Oh, it is. Although immobile, it does offer a lot of protection for those Marines.
Definitely. I mean, what other unit sacrifices itself for 100% of its money back?
Get this second bunker up. 75.
75
but to be fair,
now, is it? Look at that.
Oh, it's been 75 for a while.
Oh, I must have just taken the jokes rather seriously then. For a while, I thought it was 150%. I thought Terrans just built bunkers and deleted them. It was a valid way
just
to get
farmed them.
Bases. So Syllian hasn't currently dropped the scout bomb down on Hyrlis and has missed the expansion. in answer to Syllian's expansion here.
I think he's expecting... Oh, there we go. Like clockwork, a scan goes down and it sees this expansion, it sees the sentry waiting there.
Definitely, he knows that Hyrlis has gone, well, looks like we're going to go to macro game.
And I'm not sure if he clicked on it in time, but it is in the vision of that scan, the robotics bay coming down for Hyrlis, so he's looking for Colossus tech, which is a smart choice in this match.
Definitely be able to snipe those bunkers from a distance, do a severe amount of damage to them.
And on this map you do have a nice big wall along the side of the main base that a Colossus could just walk up.
Simply thug snap its way through.
Allowing warp-ins on high ground. That's it. Now we've had an early combat shields, but we haven't seen Stim or concussive shells start researching yet. So he's probably looking to not do any aggressive pushes just yet. There we do have Stim and +1 on their way, as well as a starport tech.
Looks like we're transitioning into standard play, which is a bit disappointing in all honesty. After my my comments of Syllian being a bit of a balls to the wall kind of player.
You could be reserving that for the next two games.
Definitely. I'm not quite sure about his answer to go what appears to be mainly bio against the possible scout of Colossi. I don't think he actually clicked on the robotics bay to see that it is Colossi.
No, I think he might have just thought it was another gateway. It was only in view for a very short time.
Yeah, it's just got its starting off orb there.
Yeah. And the observer in place for Hyrlis moving over the base now, and it is going to scout the starport. It's going to see the double medivacs pop out.
Definitely. Nothing is being hidden from the Protoss eye. Both players are getting out their upgrades, which is a nice thing to see. Hyrlis dropping down a second forge in reaction to not seeing, Syllian's second engineering bay.
And just out of vision of Hyrlis' observer at the moment is the Ghost Academy of Syllian that just finished up, so he is looking to go into Ghost Tech, which is nice to see.
Definitely.
And the Zealot picking up a Marine kill.
Drops. So we'll definitely be seeing some sort of drop play coming out from him, but it looks like with these Stalkers in position, that could be shut down fairly rapidly if he decides to.
Yeah, Hyrlis has set up an extremely nice base defense. It is both his main and his natural. He's got the Colossus Sentry Immortal at the natural behind that forge, and another Colossus in the main along with a bunch of Stalkers, so there's basically no possibility of drops unless they come in and around behind the mineral line.
Definitely. I do like that setup he's got there. I'm almost tempted to say it's like a single player game setup. It's very well walled off, I like it.
Yeah. Steve is looking to try another angle. He's looking to maybe snipe the forge.
He's planning to drop down behind the natural while pushing the front.
And the drops in, it's mowing down probes at a great rate of knots, or picking up and leaving at a very good time. He's done well with that.
Very well timed there. It's like a bit of a flag being
now
set
we
up
have
inside
three
that
split
medivac
forces.
with damage taken.
That's it.
A three-pronged attack, one of them being completely shut down as they were not quite synchronized. Just got to get that synchronized.
Marine's just dying. Marine's again dropping into the natural, killing another probe, and
sniping a
just
Colossi
miscellaneously attacking. And a sentry at the back. He's doing very well with his multitasking.
Definitely, he's really pushing it this game. The attack at the front though has just been shut down, and looks like those medivac and marines at the back of the natural were unfortunately on the same hotkey and decided just to run into Colossi. Unfortunately, no melee damage on marines.
Especially not on the move.
definitely. I've always been a strong advocate for Colossi to be able to headbutt flying units. Some sort of melee attack, I guess.
Melee attack.
Yeah, they are fairly tall and look to be quite well armoured. I don't think it's too far-fetched.
Oh well, that'd be awesome to see. The new metagame in PvZ would be Colossus striding around the map, shutting down Overlord spread.
Just Colossus, you never have to build anything else. Oh, you're going Broodlord? I'm just gonna go Colossus still. So
looking on the upgrade front. On the upgrade front, we have quite even 2-2 timings, but with the Chrono Boost facilities that Protoss has, the +2 ground weapons is going to finish up very soon, and the armor another couple of minutes behind it, but both ahead of the Terran +2 infantry and armor and attack upgrade. We also have Charge and Gravitic Drive, which is, I believe, the upgrade for Observer Speed.
And Warp Prisms.
No, my bad, it's Warp Prisms.
As we have Warp Prism moving into the third base here of Syllian, while the attack goes down at the natural. Syllian's army being bear mauled.
The Warp Prism a little slow to warp in 2 Zealots in the DT, but they did get there.
Many DTs.
And I'll be right back.
Many DTs now just going absolutely crazy at the third base here from Syllian. They will be able to kill every single SCV there. All these DTs are mentors to any other DT around. We have more warpins of DTs now going down to the natural, going absolutely crazy on all of the workers here for Syllian. The scan thrown down right beside a missile turret for that double detection in case those DTs burrowed and attempt to move out of the way. Oh my gosh, this is looking very, very similar to when Hyrlis completely bear mauled me with DTs in the base. This is absolutely amazing to be watching now. Syllian losing so many workers. In the workers kill tab, we have 53 workers for Hyrlis. Syllian just lost 53 workers, everybody. That is so many workers. The count has been brought down to 41 probes to 14 SCVs. And 1 mule, so I suppose the resource collection rate is fairly even at the moment. Syllian losing that third base. I must have missed that. But Syllian lost that third base, opting not to rebuild in the same position, instead moving closer towards his enemy and building in a less defendable position. In all honesty, if I was going to move anywhere else, I would have moved to the gold. I mean, you're already out in the open, why not get the benefits of the gold? We have an attack going on up at the third now. Syllian once again being bear mauled here, as the composition just is not right to be taking out this army. That ghost unfortunately being taken down by the DT stab in the back. Syllian losing everything then. He's lost all of his workers, a large chunk of his army. Having to pretty much salvage bunkers now for economy. The Protoss Hyrlis is just pulling further and further away now, with his +3 ground weapons attack on the way. It's not looking good for Syllian. I really don't agree with this. I guess Pokemon has run out of ability moves and just going straight for it. He knows he's not in a position to take out the Protoss at the moment, as he can't even defend his own base. There's another Warp Prism here, warping in another Dark Templar. Syllian not reacting to this. He sees. Pull your workers away, Syllian. Pull your workers away. This is not going to go well for them. These workers just being one hit with a +2 weapon attack here. Dark Templar able to take down the anti-air turret, but not before taking out even more workers. Resource collection rate, the Protoss is currently double Terran's resource collection. Things are not looking good in the Terran camp at the moment. The Syllian has lost 59 workers. That is more than double of the Protoss loss. Syllian, however, is going in for a free attack, I guess. Attempting to even the count a bit. Trying to snipe the Colossi, he does not have any detection. Throwing the scan down to DTs. His army is not in a good position here. He's outmatched at the moment. He's got to pick up and get out of there. Will not be happening. The question is, how many of these medivacs are going to make it back home? Looks like we're about to have yet another warp in here. Syllian knows that this warp prism is here and is not doing anything to stop it. Syllian, react to what's happening on your minimap. Syllian right now just needs to sit in his base and turtle up a bit. He needs to get all of his facilities up and running again. He needs to get a working economy. He needs to react to the warp prism literally soloing him. Syllian now attempting to take out this warp prism. It's not going to happen. Build some anti-air turrets behind your bases, Syllian. We have 2 zealots now being warped in. They've been picked back up. They're still just continuing to harass. Meanwhile, over in Camp Protoss, we're taking the 4th base securely, while literally like 400, 500 worth of supply is keeping Syllian back in his base. Syllian now rebuilding his army, placing them in the natural and just beside his 3rd. A very, very saturated base down here at the 4th. Over 1 million workers, that's an accurate count. Once again, going out for this early attack, attempting to try to, I guess, harass his enemy, but I don't think this is the correct choice. A Doom Drop is not the option right now. Hyrlis getting the vision, knowing where this attack's going. Syllian sending his army in little bite-sized pieces to the Protoss. This is not what you want to be doing. Now he knows that the Protoss army's there, but because of the watchtower, Hyrlis also knows that there's a drop coming into his main, and this attack over at the natural. Hyrlis storming his own stalkers, but it just does not matter. Syllian does just not have anything to deal with this at the moment, as he continues to build up a small force and attempt to harass with it. Pulling back with a medivac, but I don't think this is going to get away. It might be intercepted. Very luckily getting away then, almost losing his entire force once again. Syllian really needs to sit back and focus on his production. He does not have enough to attack right now. And if Hyrlis was to come out right now, he would simply kill Syllian. There is nothing he has that can stop this army. 25 Marines, 10 Marauders and 2 Vikings versus 16 Zealots, 4 Archons, 2 Immortals, 1 Colossi and 2 High Templar. It's completely one side towards the Protoss at the moment. As the Death Ball is rebuilt, we have a Warp Prism coming in, but Syllian has reacted to it amply and managed to take it out before any damage was done. Syllian's army's spread out everywhere at the moment. He needs to regroup, and he needs to do some sort of, in all honesty, I think a swap to mech play or more ghosts. There are currently 3 ghosts out on the field for Syllian, which is not enough to deal with this massive, massive ball here. That is so many Archons. 9 Archons here on the Protoss. Syllian's army is out of position, once again moving out in bite-sized chunks. This is life-ruining for Syllian. He's not going to be able to destroy this. Sending a drop to the main, and quite frankly, 2 drops worth to the third. This is not enough to pull the Protoss army back. Protoss is 200-200, saying, okay, attack me with that. And simply moving out with his 3-3 army with 1 shield and will bam all Syllian. There is nothing he has. Maybe with a combined army and proper micro he might have been able to take out this army here from Protoss, but simply it's just too spread. Syllian's managed to get a bit of a split here for Protoss army, but the AoE damage here is just too great. Coupled in with the single target damage with the Stalker Zealot. I think Syllian's pretty much going to have to say goodnight now and move into the second game. Supply down to 45 versus 190. Literally able to just move in at this point in the game. A single ghost stepping out. Thought he had it, didn't. A comment there from 30-minute Todd's Death Vault. But perhaps Syllian can turn it around in this game, as we see him spawning up in the top right as the blue Terran. And spawning down in our bottom left, we have our red Protoss Hyrlis. So I'm wondering if we're going to see the same sort of drop play and early game harassment again from Syllian. Or if it's going to be some sort of, I guess... well, I'll solo cast for a little bit then, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like standard openings from both players, which is to be expected. I guess the turning point of the game will probably be the 4.5-5 minute mark, when we start to see the strategies, I guess, blossom into what they're actually doing. I'd be expecting Syllian to bring out his A-game strategies at the moment to attempt to stay in the tournament right now. I'd be expecting to see some sort of, more than likely, ghost play. Early ghost play would definitely be something to see, as I know that is a very powerful build that he brings out quite often against Quack Pork and any other Protoss he goes up against in play. So Syllian attempting to fend off this probe. Mineral walking by into the base. So I hope a lot of people know how to do the mineral walk thing, where you just click on the minerals and the worker simply barges by anything that's into space. It doesn't go through a wall obviously, but it goes through unit walk. So once again we have a worker in the base from Hyrlis. The question is, will Syllian be attempting to kill that worker before showing his cards, or will he simply just show his cards straight up to Hyrlis? It looks like he's simply just going to show the 2 racks straight up. The question is, will he be doing this 2 racks to hide a command center, or will he be doing this 2 racks to actually do really, really early game pressure against the Protoss Hyrlis? So it looks like he was able to shut it down before any scouting was dropped down. But Hyrlis has got to be suspecting something up with the quite slow gas here. And with double gas coming out now for the Protoss at the 4-minute mark. I wouldn't quite say it's fast gas, but it's definitely not slow gas. so I'm going to be leaning towards some sort of one base play here from the Protoss. And more than likely, possibly some sort of shenanigan play, or 3-gate robo play. A rather late scout coming in here from Syllian. I guess it would still be early enough to be able to spot some sort of DT play or 4-gate, but in all honesty it's coming in pretty late. I mean, if that Zealot was still there, it would easily kill this SCV and completely deny any and all vision. But this Zealot has moved straight out, it's moving straight into the natural currently of Syllian. Zealot has gotten the information that there are no bunkers out here, meaning it will be one base play. Syllian transitioning into a 4 racks play. Looks like he's just going to go straight up Marines in this game.
Base
Scouting
is under
to
attack.
make sure that there is no sort of shenaniganry coming out for the Protoss. Hyrlis not quite seeing the extra gateways. Not gateways, sorry, the barracks from Syllian. However, Syllian also does not know about the robotics facility coming down from Hyrlis. Blocking the expansion, but literally only just, as he's just inside that build grid there. I think if he moved over a little bit more, he'd be in a better position, but that's really just nitpicking. That ICV will be taken down quite easily. And Hyrlis transitioning into 4-gate robo play. Pulling back, almost losing one Zealot, but not. An engineering bay and a factory dropping down now from Syllian. As he's getting up his combat shield, and what I would not be surprised to see, Stim coming straight up after that. Syllian's doing a move out right now. Has been scouted by Hyrlis, as once again Syllian completely neglected the watchtowers, allowing Hyrlis to spot that play and perhaps be able to get some units up to prepare for that. It may force a cancel, however, or because it's coming in at a later time, it may even be able to kill that Nexus. But Hyrlis warping in a bunch of units here, lots of Stalkers. And with no concussive shell, those Stalkers can kite this army for quite a while. With a large Zealot warping surrounding the Terran army now. Syllian properly microing away. Being trapped in the base though with a sentry. Syllian's army has melted. Two Marauders though will kill a lot of things. But no, this early pressure has definitely been shut down here by Hyrlis. Syllian only now just putting down his command center and beginning to transition out of it with not very many units made behind this. A small force moving out, but I sincerely hope he does not attack with this, or he will be taking a lot of damage, a lot more than he'll be able to deal at least. Microing an entire army away from a single Zealot. No way it's going to catch it. Syllian walking into the Spider's Trap here and losing 2 Marines currently, but that count could have gone up a lot higher. Getting very lucky there. We have the Stim now just beginning to be researched here. What do you think about the situation, Kezz?
Well, it looks kind of grim for Syllian. That 9-minute command center in the natural is really not what you want. Especially seeing for the relatively small amount of damage that he inflicted onto Hyrlis. He's down 12 workers, I mean, mules are pretty good, but in the long run this is going to hurt him.
Definitely. I don't think he was able to follow up quite in the way that he needed to for this play. He did not do any of the damage that he really needed to do in the assault. The early scout of it really shut it down.
He only managed to kill one worker, so he wasn't really able to do any kind of economic damage. He might have killed some army units, but with the defender's advantage, the Protoss was able to fend those off with quite easy movements, and he's rebuilt a nice force of gateway units. And he's getting his, for the second game in a row, going for robotics battle, so we're going to see some more.
And right here, the Zomgrofl being completely scouted once again now from Hyrlis. Just the superior scouting
observer movement.
being able to shut down everything Syllian's throwing at him.
A lot of sentries, so some sentry colossus are very potent units if you hit those force fields and trap the bio into the lasered to death. The first one being roosting out of the robo, the first colossus that is, it's 30 seconds away. Still appearing on the battlefield.
Definitely. The army's now moving into the attack, but simply being held in there.
He's hit a very nice timing before the Colossus comes out, so he will be able to pick up a lot of gateway units. But
that is true, but I'm not quite sure if it's going to be a fair swap.
And a Marine has decided he's on holiday. It's going to do about 6 damage to this Colossus's shield before dying.
Promptly burst into flames. Unfortunately, he was not the Tom Cruise of Marines, and he did not have a hand grenade.
No. And the medevac flies away with 3 Marines and 2 Marines. And the Viking count has begun to start. He's got 2 Vikings on the field and he's currently producing 2.
Sorry to interrupt, is your microphone up? You're a bit quieter.
I'll turn myself up a bit and talking quietly because everyone's gone to bed.
Ah. But yeah, Syllian not in a very good position at the moment. He's behind in workers and behind in army, and supply just about even.
Yeah, and you really want to be ahead of the Protoss if you can take it into a macro game, because their army units are a lot more expensive, so you want to be ahead in supply by a factor of a good 15 to 20.
Sacrificing 2 Vikings to pick off 1 probe. I'm not fantastic at maths, but the maths really did not equal up there.
Some nice creative play, which is always good to see coming out of the old Fusion Slugs team. But a little bit more refinement on that one will help him. And in response to his observer scouting the 3rd base coming down from Syllian, Hyrlis drops his own 3rd Nexus. And he's getting his 1/1 weapons and blink for his stalkers.
The Immortals and everything are actually unable to get out of that robotics facility, as it is blocking them.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It definitely is.
Opting to kill off that gateway. Whoa, it actually just doesn't come out, because it's got nowhere to.
That is
I don't think I've
actually
seen that before.
seriously good programming there from Blizzard to have that set up in place. Syllian able to take out that 3rd base there. Bit of a hit and run action.
With some extremely good use of the mobility of the Terran force to pick off that Nexus, which can pull him back into the economic game. He's still down by 4 workers, so he should be looking to create some more, and as his main mines out, he really needs to transfer some of these SCVs down to that base.
Definitely. Bit of an SCV.
They're currently all scurrying. Yeah, they're all
Hyrlis getting full vision still on the movement of Syllian.
And a scan going down on the army as they flirt back and forth. Some ghost EMPs going off nicely.
Everybody in Syllian taking the Protoss army through to the gas guys there, forcing a bit of vision loss, but Colossi have a pretty tall head, they should see pretty far.
That's right, they should be headbutting things, I tell ya.
I'm telling you, man. In the heart of the Protoss, that's going to be the ability that they get.
Oh, it sure is. Colossus are going to be... They're going to have some sick upgrades, I can see it now.
Yeah. There may even be an upgrade where they lift up their legs and simply use that little rocket on their back to become a flying unit.
Yeah, or I could do a bit of a karate kick sort of movement.
Yeah, they like latch on.
Balance on 3 legs, kick on.
Sort of like replicators from Stargate.
That's it. And a 4th Nexus coming down for Hyrlis. He's quite boldly putting that one down, but he will probably get away with it.
When you're ahead, get a header.
That's it. And this Observer doing absolutely beautiful work for Hyrlis, scouting all of this push that's coming in.
There should be a observed units count on observers, much like a walk-in.
Yeah. And bam, after all he's shot down.
2 Marauders and 1 Marine versing 3 Stalkers and 3 Sellers.
Beautiful drop defense there, and as an engagement happens at the natural ramp, EMPs go off. And the Viking count is nice and high, so the Colossus go down, but there's just no bio units left.
Definitely.
So he really needs to add on some more racks. Yeah, he's on going up to 4 bases now, but still on 5 barracks. He needs to add 3 more on at least if he wants to keep in these engagements. We might see a repeat of the last game where he just ran out of units because they kept dying.
Definitely. I think if you can do that sort of multi-pronged attack with the drops into the main and the assaults elsewhere to fight the army, then you definitely have to have a very high production rate with your large number of facilities. I have also believe that Syllian would definitely benefit from at least a couple of siege tanks mixed in with his army. Be able to pull that army back and deal some shelling damage onto the stalkers and whatnot. Oh!
It's another good option.
Syllian.
A fusion core!
It could be time to get some dancing going on.
He is correcting last game's mistakes, and he's thought, you know what, I didn't make a transition in the late game, and that's why I lost, so he's decided to put the old fusion core down. He's adding another star port on as well.
Fusion core. Oh, we have a second port down now.
And it's right next to the refinery, so we won't be able to give that one a tech lab just yet. I don't think Terran can have tech lab reactive, tech lab refinery, so...
Well, it would certainly cut down on travel time for minerals if they could just incorporate that refinery's gas directly into a grid.
Yeah. That's it. But, a little bit of a...
straight up.
A little bit of a poke from the bio into the front right, but he sees way too many units, so he's going to back off once again to what will probably be his 6th base if the game goes that long.
Oh, here we go. Now we're seeing nukes being researched as well. This is the sort of play I like to see.
Oh, I love it.
Nuclear warhead.
He's just using all the units.
Unfortunately, there are cannons here. Opting to simply...
Cannons do get DPS quite down.
Oh, I'm losing a ghost there. The Kerrigan of ghost.
Snipes! And the first nuke finishing off in 10 more seconds, 5 seconds. A good place to nuke will be at the natural, possibly, or up into the main where he can kill off some tech.
Oh dear,
There's a lot of
it's
important
being
tech
warped in now at the forward base from Syllian. Syllian was not able to deal with the last game and lost all of his workers.
And a nuke we have going off on the army.
Oh my god!
He's not hurt, he's moved it.
Moves the army. Doesn't want to cancel the move.
So that Stalker might take some damage. Nope, the Stalker takes no damage, it was far enough away. So well to Hyrlis there, and he's moved up to 199 supply. He's going to have one more unit on with one supply, which I don't think Protoss has any apart from its workers, so there we go, he's got less supply now. He's freeing up supply somehow.
He, I believe was killing some probes at his natural.
Ooh.
Generally
and here we go. Martin, I'd like to redirect your attention to the fusion core right now and get your arms ready to dance.
Oh, it's fusion core. If only I had my webcam plugged in, we could all see me dancing. We have
oh, I'm dancing right there with you.
Dancing. Our fusion core is pumping away. Do we have any battle cruisers on the way? We have one battle cruiser.
So, Protoss is getting his 3-3, they'll be finishing up in a matter of seconds, and the Terran also has his 3-3, so Steve also corrected from the first game, in that he didn't forget his upgrade this time, which is very, very helpful.
Definitely. However, I'm not quite sure, even with the inclusion of battle cruisers, if the composition of his armies are quite right to deal with this. There is a high level of anti-air here from the Protoss. There's a lot of battle cruisers.
He's transitioning towards a Ghost Viking battlecruiser. And that Warp Prism's gonna die shortly, but not quickly enough for the warp-in to be cancelled, and we do have 4 Zealots hitting their demise to some 3-3 bio.
It's okay though.
There was some idle SCVs. There were some idle SCVs at the gas geyser here that's now exhausted, but they didn't get focused down or anything.
Well, to be fair, those
and I will
SCVs
point
are
out,
pretty exhausted as well, just like the gas guys are.
Oh, they are. A lot of mining. I will point out that moving into a heavy ghost composition, Steve has not yet researched Mobius reactor, so his ghosts that spawn are missing that extra 25 energy.
And now they're all missing their health as Syllian lost his entire army and decided to scan and go, yep, that's what killed me. Pulling back.
As we move into a Colossus Archon Zealot Stalker composition from Hyrlis, and we're getting a Dark Shrine as well. So he's going to look to to use the Dark Shrine as some harass like we saw last game, which was very effective. It killed a lot of workers.
Definitely. Syllian opting to move out already with only an battle cruiser. I hope he doesn't opt to move.
2 more on the way. And another nuke being researched, which is being constructed, which is great to see.
Definitely.
More nukes the better, I say.
Most definitely.
But really, I think the deciding factor in this is going to be how the engagement goes off. I mean, one lucky nuke can do a lot for a Terran player.
Yes.
I mean, that's 300 odd damage, will kill all gateway units and severely damage all of your tech.
Syllian's fourth once again being denied, with no static defense or anything set up to attempt to defend that.
The Zealots are now going to wrap around, peck away at the assimilator, at the refinery at the 4th or 5th, and then move into the heavily oversaturated 3rd base.
Viking flying over going, yep, units are dying, much like an overlord, calling for units to come and help.
Command center was lifted at the 3rd, which means he didn't lose that one, which was a good move, but
We have a
He
bit
really
of
needs to get this
battlecruiser
army
harassment
together.
going down. Trying to get to the 4th
Oh,
base.
I love me some battlecruiser harass.
Will
He
we
might
see
be looking
Yamato
to,
get-
there we go,
He's
he's
taking
pecking
out that
away
gas.
at the
He just
assembly.
want 8 more gas
Later.
lines. Yamato cannoning the gas. Not quite sure if that's what he wants to be doing, but it's his battle.
Next level
Whatever he wants
strats.
with it.
I really think that Yamato cannon should do splash damage so that you can Yamato a bunch of a mineral patch and get 6-10 workers with it if they don't react.
Definitely.
That's a really smart
That'd
thing.
be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that battlecruiser being taken down with and kill will not be forgotten.
It was the first ever harassed battlecruiser of the game since its 2.5-year existence.
So we have a big engagement going on now. Syllian's gonna have to pull back.
Lots of EMPs. EMPs are very good, but the remaining army is just not enough.
There's simply just too much supply. It's the same sort of issue Syllian was having last game, where he's just not attacking. I mean, battlecruisers are not very mobile. He's not attacking. Sorry, he's not attacking smartly. He's just attacking with smaller forces than Protoss, and that doesn't go well. Pulling all workers.
Yeah, just go.
About this army.
And a nuke, a last-ditch desperation
Here
nuke,
comes the nuke. Will the
which
nuke get down?
might hit something.
Oh, the army is moving away. It's gonna take out his own Vikings if he's not careful.
It kills nothing at all.
That is very disappointing now. We have High Templar moving in. Will
Getting
he
pecked
give
away
me
at by
this,
ghosts. 4 hits at a time. He could put off some 6 snipes on those, but he's just not watching. There we go. Oh, here we go. It's going to start chipping away at the gargantuan shields of that Archon that's just morphed in, but it's going
a
to...
very peaceful attack.
He's going to tap out here.
As the base just gets bamboozled by everything.